Okay, so this is what we're going to end up with after this series of tutorials. First thing we're going to do is go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, Preferences. In the categories list here, go to Settings, and Working Units, change the linear setting to meters. Next thing, create polygon primitives. We're going to get a plane in a sec, but just make sure in this case interactive creation is not checked. Then I go to polygon primitive plane, go to the options, wherever you see this little square, it means there's options for that tool. Click on that, and in here we're going to preset the size of the plane that we want. I've already got it here, but just go through it again. So width we want 1 meter, height 5, and we're going to have it on the y-axis. So if I press create, there's the plane. Okay, so now that we've got the plane, we're going to divide it up. And the way we're going to divide it up is by using Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop. When I select it, it tells me to click drag on edges. So where I want to insert new edges and therefore create more divisions, more polygons, is on this end. So I'll click on this edge. You can see the little green line, dotted line appearing. And when I release my mouse button in the position that I need, here we go, one just around the middle, or maybe a little bit further to the left, one at the end, roughly the same width as the one on the left hand side. And if I click on this edge, click and drag, I create an edge along the horizontal part of the plane, so about there. Change back to object mode, and there we have the polygon plane divided into multiple polygons. Okay, so what we're going to do now is right click, go to component mode, change that to face, click on these particular faces and press the delete key. Go to edge mode, click these series of edges, press the shift key to add to the selection. That one, this one, and this one. What I'm going to do now is go to Edit Mesh, Extrude. As soon as I choose Extrude, ignore what comes up for the time being, just change to your Move tool, pressing W on the keyboard, and then in the Y-axis, the green arrow, click and raise up. If you hit the spacebar, you can go to one of the front or side views. So we need to make sure that's raised roughly half a meter or so. That should do. Hit the spacebar again, cursor over the perspective view, hit the spacebar to maximize it, and that's what we've got. Right click, change component mode to face. Click on these particular faces at the back, that one too, and these two. With those faces selected, we press delete. We don't need those faces because when we've got our shop window, you won't see inside. Okay, so now you might notice that some of those polygons are actually black. Now what that means is that those polygons are facing the wrong way. In actual fact, polygons have only got one proper face, even though you can see both sides like a piece of cardboard. In actual fact, there's only one proper side of a polygon. So what I'm going to do is select those faces that are black. So I'm in face mode. That one. Again, shift to add to the selection. That one, and that one. So it's all the black faces in this direction. And what we do is go to Mesh Display, Reverse. And when we choose Reverse, what it's done is that it's basically flipped those polygons so they're all facing the correct way. Select the object, right click, go to Edge Mode again, and proceed to select these particular edges. Again, Shift key to add to the selection. Move across to the other side. That one, and that one. So with those edges on either side selected, go to Edit Mesh, Extrude. Ignore these inputs that have come up for the time being. Just press the Move tool, W on the keyboard. Raise it up. Now we're going to raise it up about 2.5 meters. Again, you can eyeball it, but it might be a little bit more accurate to hit the spacebar. Go to one of the side views. Again, the grid units are a meter. So we have about 1/2 meter there, a meter, that's about 2 meters or so, or 2.5 meters. And that should do it. Okay, object mode. I'll zoom into this area here. Select the object, right click, back to edge mode. Select this edge and that edge. So those two edges. Back to the extrude tool, edit mesh, extrude. Again, ignore these inputs that come up. This time though, press R for scale. And from the center of the scale tool, the handles here, click and drag to the left. And maybe click on the x-axis so you can actually see what's happening. It's scaling those two edges, but because they're where they are, it effectively scales it in. So what we're doing here is creating a little bit of an edge, or a ledge rather, for our shop window base. I need to go to vertex mode and basically straighten that point or that vertex in line with this one. Again, you can do it in the perspective view, but I'm going to hit the space bar, jump to the top view. There we are, because you get a better idea of where that vertex needs to be moved. Move it. That's pretty good. And while I'm in the top view, I go to the other side. This side, hit the space bar, select that vertex and move it to square it off.